imported line, but imported side no so. We share BB to say pricing, import duties. I also I know na because me Debbie Amika said the mess that the previous administration created. I never bought course room. Yes, still. About we buy no. On finding some apart from say city no. About enya na holding kakra no. So problems in still like I just say we to anamon bi is an man be brave free honum. And never who drastic reduction in cost of goods and services. In terms of say best no. Yebeka say city number for me ya holding about there be ahonde no e wo bebi ese ifriba eno ne yehwe nim se aban no behwe na wotu anamon bi abema enya ehu emfaso e wo hwe ye friends the cost of duty ayetua na edoso papa intino the only thing about me aya ne say e be yi ade a friend benchmark value e free honum
sure
nya yi free honum a anase e beti so kakra etumi yes ade na ebema nema bo aba from pa
right
previous administration no around 2017 oye bibisa time na city no was around 3 cities 80 pesos and yeti your friend is saying benchmarks no so
yeah
at about 50%. Now unfortunately embrank I say nya ahu mfaso no anche na city no start to say ekosro ntina say ban sana dwedefo ade aye the most stabilized policy on bejina so ahwe say omodwuma bekoso no eno aginsem ntina city no ekwa koduru almost around semeka 7.8 ntina a big challenge must say nema yati so no by 50% na ban say na still yin to mint so because we share differentials no and as a percentage between the reduction of the benchmark and city no the inflation the city was higher than the benchmark value that was even reduced nti am I to me anti nema so ye but emremo we share baby a city ne kodro na baby e kodru ya san eba yechi yenya ya honde no say to me esan ko yechi yes a reduction within a week I can tell you say baby abeba form because you can see the trend say the city actually is not fluctuating the way it's supposed to. It's within certain range. Need to be maintaining the sakra na abeboa ama nemabo asan ejina baby ejina na na say be call from pa but nema can say yenhwe so benchmark value no and only problem big problem
so if I heard you right, did you mention the benchmark value?
Yes, I did.
What was it?
No it is na wakoto wade efra manani na ya dia ma $1.
All right.
Na we be do na ban say price na nya correct intino me raise value no akọ 1.5 and I said $2.
All right.
Or the mawa ansa or the duty aka ho na duty ni calculation no in fact as a film kakra
duty ni calculation no
as a film
aden as a film
listen say every stage of the calculation no near the VAT account every stage now we share the number of institutions what portal you have to go through omo process and then you have to pay so to be able to say a port one as a win here bibia anabanye ska obeko akwakojiska institutions na ya yomo yamomu authorization as a yom authority no omunyina they have something to pay customs GRA Food and Drugs Authority EPA your friends saying Shippers Council omunyina obia won a chefa wo and some about the main cost of the duty which ranges between 20 and 45%.
Wow.
Depending on what you are importing. Intino, we share sanema we na we bisa say na aden ejuma kakra oba be ye no eno nioma bebe nti we share the cost of import. Now, last year, by now, say can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maku, almost about 21%.
21%.
Yeah, depending on what we have. When you acquire 17 of that component. So, ubetwene na be ade bakon aye yakra poni sa bibi omofre no network charges.
Network charges.
Wakra oniema to office. Na wankasa wa impute oniema ni nyina na wo kwakọ yi niema no. E say network ID ejuma no. E say otua.
Network charges.
Network o. Nti we bisa say how?
How? Network charges.
Network charges.
Ewo port. Ukra wo niema na niema. Na niema na beduga na wuye a. Ubetua network charges. As our network charges, network
we don't
bank.
even understand.
Maybe sir, have you questioned?
Yeah, question can. But these are some of the nema you bet me a free honor. Now for you know, a year sign money free import bill never form. You share the benchmark values now. A honor. Nintia akobanisa and say there's no transparency in our system. Abanji wundi, also unji abandi.
Wow.
As I say, Ukrainian man de bar, the high cost of duty na uchi and intino. Wo the invoice no bar, a binum, minkaso bia, a binum, be ye under invoicing. Under invoicing, your woman, baku a positive sign, bakuso a negative in a way. In the sense, we wakwakofa then our day ban. The price at which you have to declare. Because some person bet you are high duty in Intino. A binumbe say, okay, so then $1, I'm the 50 cents and 80 cents. And no buying so say there be because here war baby or no more. It to me a usually the gage a friend is saying a pricing, you know. Into Sadia, what the bar near so Utiana went you know. Be raising our cost value until they go on the internet and then check for certain prices. You can easily verify with the importer, the exporter.
Yeah.
And as a manufacturer, send the price send not on. Because say me make offer baby 2 containers, but no big offer 10 containers at the bar. Then now your price is different. Me come manufacturer and make a chance say, bia Ghana no or person or breaky the Ghanaian market. Ni name out on. Who say Ghana into Minton, go for one container a whole year. Who say in a year no, make me a 5 or 10 containers. Inti surprise when a bit to me the aye juma. I say okay, me the bema. But so be babe far price or the ma no to me man the same.
Wow.
Because who quantity of fan no voluminous. Inti no obehwe say o price ne so beba for. And no na dinya enya ho no esan say wo de ba wo de price no e compare obeka no de one container buy
no
ne dey $5 other na wo de
$3
until say me makofa ba me price wo for until the positive and the negative side no until no wo try so be correct certain imbalances no you are punishing others for what they are genuinely owning up. Inti no eno na yeka say yenhwe say sa areas ni na no ye betumi aye proper identification ebema nyama bo no etumi aye we nti ye ne sa na the best thing is that once we are transparent in what we do there will be no need for that benchmark so inti no yetumi yes had there in fact ebebo bebi obi ade ne bibia ba as it is no you can declare na bibia aye juma you know, that is the area. If you say it to me, yeah, Ebema Nemabo,
Akofom further. Okay, but the so order to bear from 2020 to year 2024. Now, all the a year, your friend is saying duty in some no at the bem. Now, the two would compare year 2025 any current year a womb where. Would you say there has been a reduction?
I will say yes, and I will praise and encourage the current government. Also, 2016.
Sure.
City no. The Korea could do 3 city 20 pesos. They could do some no. Yeah, yakasa yampini, and that was even 2015. Yakasa yampini, and our policies be abandoned the bus at time. No. Yakasa yampini, and until so bekaya. The whole of Accra, businesses near Makola and part of the country, production was down. obia to ne juma into koma kola for 3 days no na yenye juma. There was no even clearing at the port. It cost the government a lot. Into no muka say okay, sadia yebehwe ne ya yehun bibi. And no mo start here, the new government also came in. A MPP government. And now who say, in fact, the way I see the no could do, yenye hu bibi. Na ema jadi for who unfortunately, no. Unnecessary policies that raised taxes, that raised the cost of living, hardship was rather drain on the Ghanaians. And Kayesha says, "Animan won't be from 3 cities to 20 pesos. That's where you took off from, and then ended up at 16 cities, 50 pesos. Then you ask, what happened?
So the unnecessary taxes now will kind of.
And no, and
taxes
policy what about to Jan? It could make you or make you.
All right.
Intino, who introduce policy and say, you catch us say, there's going to be a problem because we look into the future where our businesses are going to be.
Sure.
Intino, yenisa, you catch us in fact, we emboa, we beboa. I say, we need na cobban room, a stakeholders. But our banker say, me pesicantino, you don't care. Ematima before now. Then you bring in policies that will be so mechanism, so punishable. Say, Timemufono, uni or motimebia, wo de na woye, and na woye. But at the end of the day, whom are you governing? The people. And the people must live through those who are doing the businesses. Intino say, Oka say, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. Me de tax in the bar. What do you say? Ma microphone in China, one the betria, microphone market you are saying. Or more de mo at the age man, saying. Inti that brought about a lot of businesses and as a microphone crane madibano. Obi and Cobinson a container in a year, or to me, 10 containers bar. At the end of the day, I one. A binum crowd there, a take or crowd went to me and Fabiamba. Intino, the kind of policy that you introduce to govern, it's rather either creates a problem in a negative way or in a positive way. And you know, when you introduce and you realize that in 6 months you are not getting the results that you are getting, you need to go back and revisit whatever policy that you have and then make those changes to reflect the positive side. So if it's the positive side that is also coming on, you let it go, improve upon it. Sanity. Now, so what they also wear and none under your former minister, yet former old Johnny.
Trade minister.
So, for finance minister.
Finance minister.
Oh, intino, or non casania more ye, no, a year disaster. Intine drew baby, as I catch us, look, unipa way. Minister here always, I did way or and emwa. Into me and rectify, and I say, then we need to properly sit down, look at what the ministry is doing. M1. Then to me, and yes, correction. But yeah, Yen say, oh, Sani Pano, there were so many Ghanaians. Omo in him dear, or Kosropa, Omo to me, and MS or moye. What you wanna say? By chance, when you have opportunity, now and now formulate certain policies. If you don't bring your stakeholders on board, sometimes they bring them on board, they don't even listen to them. You know, if those things are coming on board, that is where the voice of the people must come in. Now, you know, one kasa wait me etumpon. You know, obi wahona so ntumi nye jumano. Nanka who say complaints ba. And that's microphone catch us a day we are woye no. It is assembly ba. Esa otna na ohwe say ampa microphone asoma mo kan no. Ase anything. Ono matna se no match say ye ni say. I don't just on kwana adwene wo trimo because there are more qualified people to do the work, but you had the opportunity to serve. Into when you become a leader, I don't just say you are all in one. You know everything past everybody. Into no nyombe kan kra wontie. Into one hwe ni ya sana be kono.
Okay, so you, now Kasaro KBB say unnecessary policies, and you talked about taxes. So unnecessary policies, policies. Ben, now what they buy? Can you be specific with some of them?
Some of the corporate taxes. From 35, we are almost about 60.
Wow.
In terms of the taxes that you pay to government, because who raise who increments nka you say a bit to me about from any electricity cost, the water, because the beverage sector, for instance, omu yusu nsuo pa e di yomo adwuma nti akoba ne say nsuo no bo no ikofosoro a big problem. Investment on beye no anase ne omo ye ewa ha no, the kind of filtration that they use, the reverse osmosis, very expensive technology they need to deploy to make sure say they get the output right. Inti no omo ye sa nema no, you also have to look at say ade we no o investment here saying send na metumi aboa ama wetumi ya ayesa adwuma no. Unfortunately, bibi ti say tax stamp e dey buy. Yeah. Nanka the taxes no e from local products 17% for your friend is excise duty. Now insuo, if it's about health wise, insuo am I
sure.
There's no sugar, there's no carbonation, there's nothing. So on there no. Mbakuma kubi na obey say infuse carbon egum because they want to make it a sparkling water. It's a technology we use no quite expensive and quite different from the normal water that we get. Inti no no ekosro. But say abanka say me the tax to swa. This water you are paying around 17%. And no goes into it. Now yes, I mean say insuo there you can say a fast less no. I say you're free from friends taxes now what they ban. If I need to pay tax on my water that I'm producing, it should be after tax. And I say after I've declared my profit.
Sure. So
on there no, now what taxing me are fine, but not on the water. Until all year no is the Ghanaian and I say to me for no or mono mutia. Your friends saying import. I know so you de buy na. Say 25%.
Yes.
But you near maybe no more. Definitely no. Yeah no na. Ebeka says sanema we my identity say to me impose taxes on them. But what should be to say sodas are beverages are in from sodas. Yeah imported by na say yeah no locally no. Taxes na was na yetua no. Eno enema de no bo ayedi. Sometimes it could be even cheaper. But the cost of production, electricity, that is the problem. Then you look at the other corporate taxes that you need to pay. You bring all these things on board into your costing. And then, into me, and stabilizing, and so these are some of the things that a bit of a problem. We share the import side now. Yeah, the taxes, no, so. But sometimes Omoka say, yeah, the tax in it to send a your interest in drinking some of these products will go down. But there's no way, and I've never seen or studied anywhere, say when you increase the cost of excise duty, the consumption goes down. Imports, and I say smuggled goods, and known as sometimes it's a bit curtailed. But when it gets to a point when there seems to be a stability, now Ben says, I don't know more no crap on, and also a cost. So I don't know. Into a cost now, excise duty now they buy. What are the things that you need to really put the excise on them? Not the things that we eat. If it's about things that has sugar, has carbonation, that you want to control, and your policy never control. When people are producing, how much sugar do you want them to put in? You need to give a direction. But when you leave it for the industry to produce, who will produce? So are there no? Because the competition is there.
But when you produce, they also tax you.
They will tax you. Tax no more deba back. So are there no? But the imported one they buy higher in terms of tax excise duty. But the local one they buy cheaper. But cheaper no crap for me is very expensive. Baby to say you American one say I say you free so cry. Now watch other ones now drinks now mortini different sweeting. I say my you be increase the cost of excise duty.
Just to discourage importation.
But there's no way to discourage.
Because you are developing taste.
The children will drink. The adults who want to drink, they will drink. Consumption will go up. Engineers say, we need to control that through a very good policy where people cannot produce certain things beyond certain levels.
Okay, so what policy would you suggest to government? Sure.
Yeah, your friend saying FDA in a way. Government are charging FDA here. In some adokodogo there ebia your sugar level now. It be 10 cubes of another 10 tablespoons per bottle. Internet to me bibia that number of spoons na yedigumu no and cubes na ekomu no a better form. In the your friends saying beverage sector no like I said breaks no and they say sugar content na measurement no the level no at the same don't produce beyond maybe 4, 5 or 6 whatever you put in place, the industry will follow. Then the regulator will then monitor that industry. If I'm putting up something that is beyond the level that has been accepted, me producing, these are the policy and the taxes that goes with it. If I go beyond that, I pay high taxes. It will discourage everybody from producing certain products. And now you be produce healthier products in society. It becomes a competitive area where people would then say, oh, I didn't can produce 2, but maybe me year 1.5, me year 1.8. Then the competition becomes, then you see the healthier living in there. But we shouldn't raise the taxes and expect consumption in back from. In any case, all the taxes that has been accumulated over the years, none has gone into the health sector. So I dare know. None has gone into the health sector. And we don't use that money to control certain things, but we use that money to for government consumption. When we encourage increment, now no, for me, that is not the way to go. But rather we introduce policies that will ensure, high consumption of these things will be encouraged through healthier consumption and healthier living. If it's about taxes and consumption alcohol, there be smoking. Yeah. Over tobacco, for instance, one product a cost just to discourage everyone. Because when one person smokes, possibly more than 10 people will get sickness out of that one stick of smoke. It depends on where the person is smoking, because that pollutes the environment. The things that we consume does not pollute the environment. You look at all these things, and now sometimes, on the other side of a fence and import, where people will then try to smuggle in certain things. When we put excise duty on them, we are able to curtail. Maybe to say textile. How a friend said, how do you put the taxes to make sure the smuggle ones that does not come in to compete with the one that you have in? But the textile industry is not non-existent, almost non-existent. Yeah. When you impose those taxes when are imposed. Because we want to do that to encourage the local manufacturing. Okay. Unfortunately, we are not helping the local manufacturing to grow. Recently, Namati said, and I said, just within this week, and I buy, like I said, Obeboa, your friends said, textile industry, and I said, government producers, to me, ama omoniama akosro. By doing so, we need to look at other areas.
All right.
To make sure, they really get the support that they need to make sure, sign money in Abekoso. But in a nutshell, if you look at the kind of taxes as I've alluded now, Bibrina Mwa, the son say, what they bar, because say a bit discouraged.
Sure. It doesn't discourage. Okay, that's fine. But the trade minister, now come on, what they done in Ghana for through the government accountability series. Let's take a listen to her, and after that, I'll come back to you.
Those of you that were receiving food stuff from me, you realize that in 2024 thereabout I stopped. because it was so expensive. But now I've started. The prices are better. If you look at palm fruits, that was sold at 40 cedis, now sells at 25 cedis. And these are very viable facts. Just go to the market and ask. You don't even need any scientists to do this for you. Ask them how they were selling it in 2024 if you don't even shop ordinarily, and ask them how they are selling it now. The prices have changed. I would say most of these prices have gone down, even if not 100%, a lot. And it's good enough. I mean, it's impactful enough. When prices of one or two items reduces, then you don't really say something meaningful has happened. But if the bulk of the things have reduced, cost of sardine, cost of key soap that was sold at 30 cedis now is at 23 cedis. Charcoal, a sack of charcoal that was sold at 140 cedis now sells at 100 cedis, 40 cedis off. So I must say that prices have actually reduced to reflect the gains of the economy. And so I think that if we say prices have not reduced at all, it will be a figment of somebody's own imagination, because the reality is that most of the prices have come down. Go to Abosokan. I indicated earlier, when I did my checks, in fact, only two, Resting and Sprinter, and I've been consistent. If you go to the market right now, they'll tell you, some of the engines, the costs have reduced by 10,000. Some of them. And so you will see that prices are generally good, but the issue of demand and supply and scarcity has affected two brands. And even those ones, they promised to do something about it. And I said I was going back to the market in March. I'm not sending anybody. I'm going there in March. And also, usually before I do anything, I would have done the preparation ready to take off before I announce it. We can't do price control because, you see, price control comes with its own negative effect. It gives way to hoarding and prices will rather escalate. But I want to do some kind of transparency where we have an app. Every shop will advertise their price. And then you decide where to buy from. So if we have the same piece of paper and I'm selling mine at 1,000 cedis and you are doing yours at 200 cedis, then the buyer will decide whether he or she's a Father Christmas to give me 800 more, or is a prudent buyer and will buy from you. And so we will not control prices, but we'll make prices available for people to choose from. And so we are working on that one now. Technology is up. Everybody has a phone, and this can do that. And so that will be that for Abosokan. But please, if you go to Abosokan right now, prices have come down, and it's not Abosokan market alone. If you go to KJTR market, now the beauty is social media. Somebody will just pick a bag of rice and say that, I used to buy this at 150, now it's 70 cedis. We all see it. And then we all buy it. So if a price of just one item in one big market has not changed to reflect the reality, I think it's not a good enough reason for us to say that prices have not reduced. So I think that if you go to Abosokan and the issue of lorry fare and things, I just heard the transport minister dealing with it. So I will leave it at that.
All right. And today, Pato, what's a trade minister?
Yeah. No crap. This is maybe at least the reflective impact. But to me,
yeah,
there's still a problem. Assuming the city remained where it was at 16 cities and nothing changed, no increment, and it was still at 16, things would have remained the same, isn't it?
Sure.
Intino, fundamental issue, no, and I'm a boss, no, the benchmark value. What cracker the bar would you to need 100%? So, until see the calculation on nama at the number for.
Sure.
But if you're able to touch base with the benchmark value,
no?
the cost of an engine that costs you 200,000, you will see it selling at 120,000. Oh, and then I mean no bid income, Madam for BTC or Abosokan. And raise issues and say, Siciano, finance ministry or more 20% tax no. Too high, and say to me, it is so.
Sure.
But I use this analogy. Say, first, no, flat rate, no, 4%. And I demand for a year 200,000. So 200,000, what you have for a flat rate. But be honest to yourself. Okra container, bakun, ediba, the cost of that container is more than 200,000. So, and you do multiple containers in a year. You fall beyond that 200,000. So you need to be sincere to pay the tax, which you are not paying, but I am paying. So, Aban say me de me ba beto ade na, jisa tax no me ho. Enya wo na obetu ya. Wo de ne say, at the end of the day when you declared your profits, you then pay on the profit that you made.
Sure.
Nothing changes. Sisi ano, you're moving across 780,000. More people have come into the tax bracket. The engine that was being sold for 200,000 today, when you go there, you get it for 160,000. Now 160,000, 20% of that, which either two were going to pay 21.9%. But now you are paying 20%. It is at 20%, Mina mikwakoto engine, I am the one going to pay. Just make the invoice and pass it on and let the person pay. But when you say, there be nipa no beto no boy into me then we are wrong. What we need to fight for are the benchmark values, because that is what prepared the price. It is a benchmark value in the forma. So 160,000 as I say, by the city calculation above form. Now you are going to get it at 160. But when the benchmark value goes down further, they reduce it even at 20%. That engine of 160,000 will come down to around 120 or 130,000.
And also the work kind of so not me sure say I buy here prepared say over reduce it because that is I buy the revenue.
And that is it. Oba no who say I'm making good revenue, so let us leave it there. Because the city is giving us or dictating the pace. No. We can still go down. Where the city will remain at 11 cities, but yes, when you go to the market, something that should cost you around 10 cities will cost you 7 cities.
But coming to the reduction of the benchmark value, what table mo concerns actually abayemu mpanyifo?
Yeah, first finance minister share first time. You catch them.
Atoforsen. Okay.
Good. Niama, with time, we'll see the reflective impact.
Sure.
Over time. So just allow any giddy because on Kofa cranium more problem this animal. So you allow it. With time, you know how stable prices have become and how prices have reduced. But the problem that was created by the previous administration, you have done nothing about it. That is the benchmark value, the corporate taxes, the cost of utilities. Utilities keep on going up. Industries are now paying almost about 56 or 50-something% of electricity. It has not come down. So are there no. And you want to see how these things will come down.
Would play out.
That will make cost of production cheaper. Because the cost of production, that also drives the economy.
Yeah.
It is a very higher. You cannot compete with the import. So are there no.
But yes,
removing the benchmark value does not mean you are going to hurt the local industry, but rather you make living cheaper for the indigenous people.
Sure.
Now, what she say? And then they make me a year, a bema, ye nema no bono, are you producing locally, a one paper form. Then we start looking at the corporate taxes that we are giving them, the utilities that we are paying, and then the kind of salary that people are earning. You start looking at all these things because city need to member former may do 5 cities. Now, utility and form drastically. Now still no salaries are general and 1 year budget. But son and Crawford be a moon to mean to ya or Crawford. So are there no internal so bad for no. Then there will be a point where the employers will then meet the employees and tell them, say, look, now things are the way they are. We need to bring down salaries, starting from government's end. To show the way, say, buying salaries, workers, no salaries, above form. So then the private sector will also start looking at, say, Nema improve so say Nema above form. Because Nema na a cost no, and no na tembiano. We go up in arms asking for higher input of salary.
All right.
Oh.
But I asked you a specific question. One answer in the you answer positively, like say the cost of importing items into this country, import duties are above from. So for
import duties in above from, and by a city no, na man I say above from. But the fundamental issue still remains.
To the ordinary Ghanaian, we didn't say import duty above from.
No, import duty has not gone down. They are still where they are.
Ha.
Yes.
Actually, one more 24 abaha echo I won't say. Say omukrani mafia manoni na oboko port one oboko koyidi mana.
Yeah.
Ayadia ebo na abafom because of dollars CDA.
Yes.
So to the layman there
and abafom.
Abafom.
Sa we no reduction no and they translate into the reduction of your friends saying. But you can't say now. Let us look at the import duties.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Import duties was static.
I mean Bissau.
Yeah.
Between year 2022 2024. Niama na okra eba o memu ha no. Wo de toto niama okra eba enai ho a. Import duties no difference in bemu.
See the no.
I'm asking.
The difference.
No, to the layman, difference in bemu.
Difference in huge.
Difference in huge.
Huge.
Let's just say above form.
Above form.
Good.
But maybe the na make us say ember form. The static percentages now, you have a fixed rate.
I understand you, but
the fixed rate of the import, ember form.
I know the amount.
That's what I'm saying. Say the benchmark value that used to be 100%. The 100% is giving you even today that the city has come down. It's still giving you that cost.
Okay, so let me ask you. Niema ben na ya okraba kroma.
Yeah, they are mobile.
Okay, what are more one container ba year 2020 and 2023.
Let's assume I'm paying a duty of 1 million cities.
1 million. Say what the Bible
say I make you have around 600,000.
And that's about from.
Okay. Now, let me tell you. The percentage that we are talking about. When I bring in soda from Nigeria, ECOWAS levy tells me that I should pay 10%. So that's 10%, no? No? Guinness, it produce motor Guinness, the same one that is coming from Nigeria. The cost of input, very high. So, therefore, they must sell more than the one that is coming from Nigeria, even with all the duties that have been paid. Now, you look at other commodities like rice, 20%. So are there, no? And on a buying basic rate, no. Then you look at the imposition of the benchmark value that US introduced CBIC and TB done. Say what cranium they buy US countries be on bet you 15% extra. On bet you into the car. No clear or US no bet you have 15%. It's the same that we have here. You pay extra 20%. If you bring oil, you pay. You bring this, you pay. Into and on there can say benchmark value, no. Then you look at the cost of your price. That government tells you say, no, it doesn't help. Into no the bus $1, you pay for $2. You see? And then they do the calculation based on the $2. No. Say your fund says see the number form. So we leave it where it is now. Then we have a big issue. We need to touch base with the cost of the import. What percentage is coming on? So when you do that reduction now, automatically I'm telling you, say, the city that you see that has come down to 11 cities or 12 cities, it will go down further. So, what will happen is that the cost of that item that you are buying on the market will go down further even when the city is high. Are you getting my
I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Because for at a time now, no, or yes, a reduction of 50%. Nanka I say within 3 months, yetuminya sa reflection, say when you go to the market, you see the cost of nema boaba from the ebema ebibi. Say CD no bejina. Unfortunately, CD no cost no cost through more than the reduction that they did.
Sure.
Into no reduction now or pricing because nobody had confidence in the stability. They also started escalating prices, and we saw where we ended up at 16.5%, 16.5 cities. So are there no? See now about form no. That is where we are seeing say to me cut down one ko it could do sa a friend saying 3.8 8. Sitting being a problem now. Then you ask yourself, in 2015, when we're saying, say, the cost of living was very high, it was 3 cedis, 20 pesos. But the import duty has not changed.
All right.
See, at that time, because the import duty has not changed, it was very high.
Question better for Obisano.
Oh, I'm say, na me buy better than visa free food and beverage sector because now
I want no free.
Oh, okay, because talking about
no executive secretary.
Okay, excise duty, and I say what they call benchmark. So what you say, but I never say TSA and they say tax are no placed on commodities for nothing. Tax is a major revenue generation for every government.
I told
all
you
all over the world.
I told
so
you.
What you say. In the first place, it's all benchmark duty say and a dollar buffer. Dollar ne cry buffer no. The woman say it has reduced government revenue. We are sure so you are aware of that. It is a way of buying this one fee. Not dollar now we see the now was stabilizing because of dollar rate now the buffer no. Now so I say we bet benchmark duty so to be able to affect revenue more. Then sikabe na obenya now they are bought mine no akonhoma. That is what we must also address our minds.
Let me we look at it this way. Yaka say the taxes near high. Whoa. Since 2012, me can be me and I'm fast assembly bias.
All right.
We are paying cascading costs on every tax that government introduced. No, there is a hidden cost, cascading. In Chadian and Kaisa, what on 6 cities, no, but we now work on 8 cities. Which shouldn't be the case.
No.
So it took only this foreign current minister to accept that fact. Say yes, that cascading tax regime, we need to take it off and bring the 10%. Now what? Sorry, the 20%.
We are talking about
now when he brought the 20%,
arrangements, no.
You know what he has done.
No.
Now he has raised the threshold from 200 to 750.
Sure.
Capturing more people.
Now
more people would then pay that your friends said 20%.
Because you see, me business I mean we went to the printing industry.
Okay.
Now my turnover for a year now in 200,000.
Okay. Right.
My turnover now is now up to 780,000. So I don't even fall under that tax bracket.
Sure.
That's what they said. The smart tax regime.
As I say, more of the small and medium scale businesses, no,
will not be paying those taxes.
Yes, will not fall into that tax bracket because omo turnover for a year it was 750,000. It is all kinds of more businesses would then fall under that arrangement. What
side, you know?
My name be the questions.
Nana, you see, no can be about price. You see, a chrome hano, said the trade minister Sikano. Won't mean regulatory prices in this country. For example, when it comes to the printing industry, Ubetima koto A4 sheet. One ring back, Benny Baby 60 cities, Baby 65 cities. Oko Baby will bet on 80 cities, 85 cities. And there's someone who said no, who told the acquired person for so. Printing materials used to be a sticker, need different prices. And the Kroma and Casano acquired this when it comes to the free market economy, where then you may have differences in prices. But cumulatively, say the way you need to dance here, no, the dollar because every import duty is calculated in dollar terms.
Sure.
Yanyan we see the moon. It is away the rate at which the dollar is exchanged with the cedi no will have significant effect on how much you pay for your import duty. Look, my madam for Usu or cracker for American never. Your community in yes be out many in call steps. Exactly.
That one nobody can take it away.
Nobody can take it away. It will be in too fair say ali dollar na and any cedi no ni sisana aba from ne de e kwan bebre so na ma na ma aba from
sure
and a chicken aba from first e kwaya could do 50 cedis per pound fish ya kwala ne amaya ne na 40 plus and now kwa benya bi 35 bi kwa benya bi 32 so what you say these are daily food items ayi nyina ayeto emo anwa so what you me kra de inform ma de te say body is a seasonal crop. So what you say, and they are not me fan and casem. But the near man, you different approach. The every rate is calculated in dollar terms. And no dear, said the TB.
But Ora agree makes the point, say, a benchmark value no, a effective pricing, the money my boarding, and combine ever share a year the benchmark value rather than a year the CD to the dollar. No, the Atiniamano Swanker, no better more.
And I make a sure say, so one share you may collapse your economy because dollar now above for example, your cotton cocoa our dollar, and a dollar a buy ya be say dollar. My fan say the official rating should be at by 11 cities.
And you know earnings now you be
exactly. They say a could do by because not cocoa for revenue. Where the dollar rate now above it has affected our revenue. And your revenue positive side no, it has also affected our debt. It has affected our foreign debt.
Yeah,
no, because I say debt number for
exactly.
It has affected in a positive way.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not saying it has affected in a negative. Positive. I'm saying in a good way. In a good way. In a positive. That's
you know, am I a debt
above for? So what you say? And thinking you know negative. And you see a TS said you're in a money. After all, debt now affect no positively. Ama the debt to a GDP akọ from. And you're buying. So what I bet what the other as I say, I'm a revenue akọ from. So one way now ban innovative way to be able to increase the tax bracket. No one for any people be mum. No one you tax about now revenue. Now why you shortfall. And the benchmark there, I don't subscribe at this time. Say be a coin bisu emrena ne dollar cost no.
Yeah.
Na bibi abo be ye di no. Exactly. It's a bunch na nebia. We was at time no why CD with target. No, you kum Ghana for do. Mummy anti benchmark value ne so. Said the be ya coin bisu no. Ya be ma ya man for ho ahen o mo kakra. I could have buy into that idea. But say see a dollar na above ma yeah practically obi ahu say enema bo oba form no. What's our benchmark value? So now what's a reduce revenue?
It is to the advantage of a year 1 year cranium.
Because we need to say, look, the fuel price. Now
that's what we call commercial breaches until my many to sum it up.
The fuel sector.
Oh, there be
fuel sector. One of the OMC company, that's Star Oil. Almost say there's what they call
the price floor.
Yeah, the price floor. The price floor. Almost see MPO for any floor, so that there will be competition. Say dollar rate in a buffer, say crude oil rate buffer, then Obia because say it's not regulated again. In fact, deregulation was complete somewhere 2015. Sure. So what you see. But government MPF say it's not the best because more Star Oil fui. Star price flow way and a buamo and I'm to me pejaye. Star na wouldn't be no what abraka opposite market. What are no headquarters war? So what you see. Kakra. There were other bigger companies at that time. No, Kenya price floor now. They could have reduced their price to the sense that you could have survived their market.
No, please. That one they don't go there.
Oh,
but how they mean?
Don't tell me that. You can disagree.
No, I'm disagreeing with you.
Exactly.
So who can say me ne wunya drink? Because in the price floor, as we speak now, it's about 9 cities 50% or so. It's about 9.97. Is that the price floor? No. Check it well. 9.97.
Okay.
So price floor no. So 9.97 now what kind of a shortfall 17% of a year price a year your friend is Star Oil for a ton is here. So you can do it. You can do a quick check on your phone.
And you
know now your friend is Star Oil for so I can say. So then the price floor no more can.
And you buy you.
Debit your minimum say buy say 2014 2020 buy a check. Now was it no? I think it was in 2024 there.
We can check.
But
we can check.
I will check from
there.
Yeah,
we can check.
Buy, you know, the argument made by your friend is saying Star Oil, let's say, at certain peak times of the your friend is saying of the day, you know, say just our price floor no buy ya. Anka omitimi atifu and also cry my ton be 9 cities 50%. That is the argument.
No, I'm not disputing that argument. But the Meme can say Star policy ya ene Star Oil for say MP for yin freeway. Tell me what they buy. Okay.
That tells you say there are people cartels controlling the price the way it's supposed to be. Because
Well,
Go ahead, 9.99.
yeah, 10.9.
Oh, there be one more to say.
Nyabotre.
About
Nyabotre.
9.99.
No,
Promotion on moye. Promotion on moye.
Star Oil is doing the same promo.
Listen.
Star Oil is doing the same promo.
Star Oil, no dear, from time immemorial. Cost down.
A group of people meet and they tell you, say, today the price should be 20 pesos. That is it. Don't go below. When they know very well, say, we can sell below 20 pesos.
But I think say
So they are manipulating the market.
any sport fix. It has been there over the years. And argument say, look, in all the industries, say the industry be a one per regulator to be able to protect the younger ones, the bigger ones who have the capacity to swallow them.
So let me ask you, when I go to the international market to buy my oil or my fuel for $1, and I come to the market and I have to sell it for $1, and I want to see the 20 pesos. Now, because your group that has agreed, say, we should sell it at 1 cedi 50 pesos. You see? So all of us must sell at 1 cedi 50 pesos because of the profit. But we are not looking at the price. That is where the deregulation, this time is working effectively. Sure. Because the very moment the dollar comes down, the international market also comes down.
Let me chip in this. The current price floor, 9 cedis, 80 cedis for petrol.
Okay.
That's what is there now. And Star Oil's argument is that Wamono anka buying penny amomo yi star everywhere. Anka they could have sold fuel to us at 9 cedis 50 pesos. That is the argument.
So why should we allow them to do it? Because it means someone is controlling the price somewhere.
No, it's the MPA, the regulator.
Yeah, the regulator.
If
you are making 1 cedi,
and you know something,
you can make 50%. Why do you maintain it at 1 cedi?
The issue is, tell me, say, policy way. All the industrial players agree to it. So what you say? Me feel say a good time, so many back on board to be able to review. There might be consensus, but one of the players in the sorry, say because now I have the biggest market share because I have this is how many lead when it comes to OMC, the share of the market now. I have the biggest market share. It said the TBR because I can reduce the cost of my production. Say the TBR. This policy that we all agree previously, it might be scrapped.
What they agreed before.
Exactly.
Which you and I never knew until now.
Oh no!
This expose is telling us that.
Okay, when
the people can still reduce.
So
why are they not doing it?
So okay, me and you didn't know. I agree with you. But the players in then that say we are aware of this policy.
So this price, this price floor was introduced in April 2024.
Oh, just recently.
Yeah, just recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2024.
Oh, really?
2024.
So,
wow.
And you see that the policy is set to.
April 2024.
A minimum retail price for gasoline and liquefied petroleum gas. That's what they have said. Ghana way.
Wow.
Yes.
And if I can make profit of 50 pesos and they peg it at 1 cedi, we must go by the 1 cedi and they make more profit.
No, answer in the oil industry.
Because
their profitability in the oil industry, their profitability depends on the volume that you sell. So what you say? And because Star Oil
and now Star Oil controls about 30% of the market.
No, I know 30%. No, I know 20%. They are around. I think say 20%. But no, I'm say first. Of course, they have the biggest market share. But because Star Oil has a bigger market share, they are able to have volumes of their sales. And to even 1 peso on every liter of
have you considered, if you interview a taxi driver, they will tell you the brain now fuel was Star Oil, even when the fuel was high. Because
no price near low.
1 peso and 2 pesos be cheaper.
There's another company, Bernardo. They also have the same system. But God, dear, me feel say sometimes,
the government
Star Oil is beating them. And that is their concern. They are not. It's beating them. and that is their concern. They are not being able to generate
but
the revenue that they would have generated.
You see, it is a breaking news you are giving it to me, sir. This policy was introduced just last year.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, it was.
The period of deregulation I didn't use a recent policy no but be at this me no. At least I've listened to both sides of the argument. If you listen to the energy expert now, look, some of the argument they say this policy no a crime business no a board to be able to grow indigenous or small OMCs.
Yes, I've read about that.
So what I said yeah. And I'm so the why the what hina tintiminti no. Ubeti price out to the sense say me a minyanti me
controls. As at 2025, Nastar Oil control 14% of the total market share.
So they are not up to 30 years. And the American say, and so I say, and then because of the dollar rate, the crude oil price on the international market has come down. No? The prices have come down. A bedroom tembi and I'm say you could use our policies up a price flow free hunting. Now price not doing pempen so beer. Now for the smaller company where you are more free move, there will be competition. You want to monopolize the market. Look, let me tell you, one of the challenges we are facing in this country when it comes to sanitation is one company who has monopolized sanitation management, sanitation operations in this country. Since on by Chrome Yayefi, in Somo, look, your friend BB saying, sanitation levy, your core parliament, a quite share, accumulating over 1 billion. Some company no kwani they are command. I'm telling you, so one share in an open market economy, in a liberal economy, let's say, company bako monopoly, the other effect they say prices may go up. And the certain policies are near for today. So what I say, policy with the tour that chinti ebi and then who's so, but that people surplus for you cannot say you cannot be beyond that. Into where there is a policy you cannot do beyond that. Into your policy and then kwa there and now because we policy. Abrofono and
they decide say the price of fuel should be this price. Now, if government is able to reduce some of their taxes, so say near 1 cedi.
I don't know. MPA. It's awesome now. Can't say all the oil marketing companies would have to go into caucus and to decide on a price for the product. No, it's not. It's
not done.
It's not done because MPA will give you the range.
Yeah.
And when the range is given to you, that is why they've.
The very caucus that set the price, that no, even though government, your friends saying MPA policy, beyond the policy, because I say to me, Tono, at a profit of 1 cedi range maximum. Now say, make me 1 cedi 20. Is it not the same profits?
So they'll be making higher profit if
they say MPA for argument back so mode Star Oil some say. Even say almost set price floor no at 9 cedis 80 pesos. No, they are not selling at that. They are selling at 9 cedis 99 pesos. So why are they even complaining?
They are okay.
But so what I say, MPA for so argument or no. But Star Oil ne dear or say Omoba Peninsula no may use our price floor from 10 p.m. and I do 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. I idea full oil. What was a Star Oil? You know, fuel in this country. The exchange rate and then the world market price. So if at this particular
now say 1 cedi tax credit they are tosono 1 cedi in the duty free so it's a fuel could have been so say be 9 cedis 99 could have been 8 cedis exactly and you no crown what they can crown na at least reasonable.
Okay, let me listen to my good brother here. I'm getting interested in the conversation, but there are 2 questions. But put on your microphone for me. All right,
it's getting interesting. Sure. But 2 questions with regards to the benchmark. Yeah. I want to find out from you, can you accept or agree say the benchmark can always be manipulated?
No,
because we say benchmarking means say dia wakoto adiaba that was say me turn 5 cedi now by me to me I can say no here adi will turn 15 cedi.
Manipulation.
Yes, so I think that with that manipulation na was say bia mo discussion call more because you see government is I believe the government will always take advantage of that because it's fixed.
That is why I said we are not transparent in what we do.
Exactly.
If we are very transparent, if I buy the thing $1, I will declare $1. I I will not declare 80 cents. Where government will have a suspicion.
Yeah.
Say, at the end of the day, supposed to wonder how do you make it? It is hard there. Maybe range, $1 and $120. So I'll use the higher value.
Yeah.
That is the problem.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, say, government will always take advantage of, say, even with the CD, the dollar rate CD, but the benchmark is still in the system. Because I remember the previous government, they tried to beat down the
but they raised it up.
They
raised it up to 100%.
Yes, it depends on also the item you are talking about. And to me, feel say hono, some more strength kohwa.
All right,
but
that's the only interested part.
Maybe I'll be assembly.
Yeah.
Say, Omono you are free bracket in him of paying the taxes before they used to pay within the 200,000 threshold. That was 780. Now, GRA introduced to be almost say MTS, the modified tax system.
Oh, okay. For informal sector, okay.
Into what will fall out of 850. No, don't think so. What they need below, so you don't pay. They will come to you.
Oh, I know.
But I'm saying, much a crowd do because by now I send us education.
I make sure. In fact, I went to a workshop.
There's a percentage that you will pay. Your
oh no, let me workshop be for particular about that tax system. Okay. I was part of a workshop. Yeah, me call now utie Jerry for na ombuta nyina ne say they want to make taxes flexible to the extent say the informal sector can also participate in the paying of taxes. So for example, me have figures no more can be you make about say it be 20,000 a year. Near can say be the whole year and be try say 1,000, 2,000. It wouldn't be that much. Basically that's the concept. So what I said there be on say tax na acquire to say ni triamu e peja kosra be this electricity awukan. Ekroma de ba kopa mama for electricity is because the cost of electricity is very expensive. Very expensive. Me come here say be waste intimi so. Intimi sense ma bon se na manya kata be intimi so de o mfi. So what you say? Intimi so. It's because of electricity.
Because also betua.
And so betua nti enkoko am nse betan electricity man na betan air conditioner na afi de manya kata. Me fi de intimi so. Nti obi ene we kroma obeka electricity bo ni sura. Na ya na iro ho say sometimes wo tiniama e electricity company ya na iro ho. Wo de na say about we buy share procurement a year no mo ye. To me, to the sum of 7 billion, and near more be here in 20-30 years no matter go because somebody's illegal profit will be empty. Now, for the year near done punching back, yeah, consumers no for water, yeah, now I water for crowd. Me sure say they must find a system to be able to take the bills. Oh, crowd, I want from you.
Upon a time. Now, me drew estates. I would do my estates for me. Nancy, Ebuso, and I'm a far phone. And I'm fair. Say baby I be jinai in sonu eba about maybe 1,000 gallons per 30 minutes per an hour. So are there because right now at the end it has been so for a week.
Wow.
So who is coming to check?
I'm sure every ground you are even lucky.
Say you now they came to work on that.
Wow.
Make us say road no so infant area horn baby mekai. In Finfini Hono, once a pipe no, I started leaky, underground leaky. My road middle of the
even cry, underground leaky de bia.
Cast for Timbia, I'm sure say I reported, but they've not taken the step to go. So when you come and tell me, say I should pay more for what?
Okay, wait a Mr. Mommy call a break, embrace here. Bye, but one
Section man of way. Electroland abeja. Near the Munamuni, I'm a punning in our swab. Radio Thursday, 10th April 2025.
No sorry down. And that's a backsword Nadia Nimshe.
Property Samsung, TCL, Media, NASCO TV, AC, fridge, gas cooker, washing machine, deep freezer, home theater, microwave, blender, kettle, rice cooker, and any more papa can win now. Now, baby, it can for baku 50, ebenya 50.
frase. Yamta ye de milk papa bi. Nunu chuvi aye ye nkwada eduanya. Eye de na ahodia ewo mu no bo mo fra pomodi. Anyo impeni for swini chopa. Mawobano apomodi wini mo frase. Yamvita gumo do bebre. Yamvita, a delicious way to grow. FDA agi ejodi yinkrato yatum.
21st clinic aye sciatica expert. Sciatica no wo nerves na wo to ase na fa wo siremu na fa wo nansia besi ase ho no. Se ho techema eno ene efa ne sciatica. Na etimi bubu wo to ase ka wo se dwe wo siremu. Woje ho ba bia enye. Na no na 21st clinic ba ye adwuma pa wo mu yenti abasobo o magye wo Ghana ha. Ene amono ne enya asem ketewa. Wo mu gi international awards ahodo, wo mu gi local awards ahodo. Na anu nso na wo mu bie the only sciatica research and treatment center in Africa. Bibrim hano ebi ni baby a gi 21st clinic nkwa. Wo mu die bibidro ene besa o yare no masa de machine aka ho. Eya yare sabia yare bia wutimi de ko ne mama ade ba ko a wo magidi wo mu pa no. Eye sciatica ena stroke nso de kwa diabetes ne hypertension ne ade. Ghana ha baby a wo mu ho. Enkran ha sese ye wo Tantra Hill runabout. Se wo free enkran eba ye wo wonsa ni so. Wo frama so man so na eba nso a wonsa bonkum so. Eho na wo behu ye. Fre 0540-311-311 0540-311-311. There's a 21st clinic. Still, woman is sciatica expert.
Tonte. Yanum sani efadwen. Ne efadwen mpa. Say na num se brebi beba. Ama tontina 74. Opa ye ne simple. T74 abeyedru. Tontina 74 ana T74 asa twe yadwene esina nanom dodo so. Se de na dodo bua ma nanom enyare basabasa no sa na tontina 74 ana T74 ebu anipadua no. Emo immune support enti obi onum bie no abrebia ne ho den. Tontina 74 yinso yaye ne gefi na ekroyi eda no nko na wie ye wa bra mennom T74. Se mennom tontina 74 menya hodi mennom ne dabia. T74 yi eye hahama ene ye de aye na DHC ena aframa na ye kamasa no. T74 ahoden ni apomuden kwa. Woko pharmacy ana baby eto nwo bia ubenya tontina 74 yi biato. T74 yi enye ma oba wa fafuro ana obi a oma nufo ana se obi a onya mfie dumienu. Eto phone 050-162-8931 and 0246-073-498. FDA agi ejedi nkratwe atum.
Forgotten country. My main Kyle say one year for Jumedi Hulkano, a Electroland Ghana Limited, Sasana, Electroland Ghana Limited, Jaws Bread and Pastries, woman of Makofa, Jaws Bakery, Dokuno, Ediabe Draman, Swa, Neboy, 3 Ghana cities, Sasana RSYD Novigi Studios. That is where you can transform your reality and your dreams into reality. So a banner in the trim, a banner a picture trimoa, a RSYD Novigi Studios. Tontina 74, so a wood German, so a dudu cassier, a boni pediana, a who buying a fee, ya dear. Everything actually I do over to an anonymous one see a draw, Bevacho a drewy, a camapa, no probably be named Robobia, a idea, Ebemao, sa. But let's quickly conclude on this particular discussion and I have in studio. Tigabi, summing up on this particular conversation, I enjoy Papa Quine. What would you say?
Oh, me feel say amamuo deɛ ɛyɛ very complex nti bibi ba wɔn a adeɛ ne fɔm nyinaa toato adwene na yɛn nyinaa bisi mpɛmpɛnso bi a ɛbɛboa consumers ɛbɛboa aban no so sɛ wɔte a because NPA is a governing institution nti buti agreement na family no nyinaa sɛ kam sɛ yɛ consumer kamɛpɛ sɛ saa policy no price floor yɛn nyimfiro sɛ de ɛbɛyɛ price beba da na me se bi misuma timi atobi be wutie da other side a ekwan bi so na eto asum kakra be da me kan kosia ne se cumulatively anase ye kan nyina boma aban ba yi me gitum se nyame ye adom na se ye toa so se ya na ye di bibibre kekan ho a se de tie bia no se de ma si eba from dollar na aye de aba from no o man no ye be ko yanim ye be san nya sika se be ye de bebo e ho akonhoma because to de be ambisa ho se since aban be tran so boss ye nkwaji ebusia wa brochire wo ye nkwaji euro bond ye nkwaji ebusia bia no in fact treasury bill cry ye to no e ya ade a ye beto ye because treasury be woto a be do tem ye se wo san ko ton bi na wo de ko tuaka se wo te ase enti ade a be to ye but wo hwe mpuntujuma ye koso a sometimes you be amazed ebe won was enti yakɔhye we yase yaje we yawie yaje we enti me dia me wogidie se ɔma we apro se bia achia so emui se yakase be ye Ghana yi a wo hwe ajapade a Ghana de adom ye wo krom ha na empo emre bi atwam ya na me pese ene won se conversation and said anya politics ye nyina ye de enim die kakra na ye de to adwene wo hwe gold board ye di ba wo de hwe emre dodo ya na make from yi potiman so mo hyase ama no begui na boys no omo kɔ underground no mako tu abotan no no de omo aduro dade omo ma ye dade no omo na akɔhwe omo nsam a satam san eno na ne friend galamse o hwe ne hwe se ne ene galamse a be ye yakɔ excavator na hwe ba bi ekɔ we nyina chi ne go no kura ne sebe na amanfo bi omo nka oman omo mfiri oman omo na be ye den ebe ton fofofo no omo de kɔ be ne hwe di gold board bai hwene ma hodo a edi abo oman mu a we kire se ye trans ni nyina kan adwum ni adwundwin ya ne ka se ye bepeje oman ya ye bepeje oman ye hia ne ma bebre enti ese ye to ebo kakra na ayi me ofa ye ka se reset na ase kire se ye ka se reset a wontimi se be ufiti preko pepose a moja na eba ko ye den isi den was stabilize already price number for who could reduce o benchmark a we dey hwe se revenue no saying because already no last year I think say there were some shortfalls of our revenue. I don't remember. This year first quarter crime until at least first quarter, second quarter, if your third quarter, you can assess your revenue generation by be a do all the VAT here or my realignment here from 29% to 20%. Then you look at all these indices. Now for there, who take a decision be and now who take it. I think it's too early for the government to be reducing all kinds of this thing. And yes, you crow ya and we can say you hear coin, you hear NCO, you hear hospital, you hear way. But we can in the survey about 50%. That is huge. Omuji to me say abino the abino called the right direction. We call global info for almost so the same thing. Omokra there it was more it exceeded 58%. But we should not be swallow-headed. You know, say there's more improvement. There's more to be done. Because you hear me, papa.
Nabi, mami na say na me ko video chain.
Kakrewi can't the Agabi cano.
Sure.
I think say very important say in a very recognize say abide continuous. Amam Bruno continuous. NDC abide by. You are just only 1 year in office. There's no major policies there. But manifesto
microphone one mute, you know.
Sorry. Now, me better because the mini Agabi can because Aben Bruno continuous. Aben Bia bad ya why no obisi betwaso. Say they are okay. I mean Ghana statistics baby. 1 year there. Me who any major policies be aban betumi aye but you believe say continue aban so a priority there be aban be our previous government yen nyina pe say o man year obi an a priority obe set and we hear the immediate 7 point or the same policies are omo share or more manifesto me yen nyina ni me say or more budget 4 number kind of no kind second one but we'll give the government credit because whatever it is, you know, say nyoma papa sisi wo wa ban mu a whether it is say global world say petrol ken I mean the global world we know say from 98 to 53 now e penny ken cut down too much so it has a negative impact on the Yankasa government revenue. And you know, all to say is aban no ayade, but let's remember say they are continuing from where the previous government left for them. Now no nature no yenina bompa say ekoya ekoma yenina. I think that's what I would say. So pump up to the government, but I believe say when say better recognize where we have come from and where we are heading towards.
Right. Mami na say na let me take your last words.
Thank you. So far, so good. I hope moving forward, we'll see more things coming.
Sure.
And then revamping the economy the way it's supposed to. Yeah, within the industrial space, and import trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are
for coming. I mean, because we ensure ourselves will buy it. But now, let's now get into this issue. Gabi, Debbie, I mean, shares and free. I didn't create Nanankroma. I mean, shares and free in chain. And now I am MPP for Ebo Modern Echo, Echo sign your peace pact for elections at Bebaso, a year 31st of January 2026. Matters are rising. Meet you.
Yo, obene me that's it. Me nchia Gabi. Na me nchia 84. SOMPA 84. I mean, ewiawe nchia kese ma mu nyina. I mean say said ya we be say. ABOTCHIE said ya we be say why there. I mean say nyame ncha there enra process na starting no. Na edika me fenchia ma all the aspirants. 5 aspirants ekukudam. I mean me started from or they say Kennedy Ohine Japan. I mean Oyobia Uncle friend political maverick. Not just Obia Sebio or Kana Jane and Obe Council Obe Can say the tier Obia Nimunu Krumha. But the real thing I bet you identifying is a businessman on his own. I mean Obia wa achieve in his own field. Very successful in Abaso. Because you be na okro what to me achieve now is successful in his chosen field. But Kennedy Ohine Japan were modern or MPP party no so feel say your man akwenya na obedi president na there also so ye otumi osom ne man na oye no ogidi e wa regime say obetumi aye ono so eni so ade hunu kese e wo ninu say oba nwuma mebru nyuma omu hia no ejo betumi aye until one of the biggest hotels in this Africa hano betumi abo what's the name is it Mirefini Hotel nidin BB City Brian Hotel no
your friend is saying
Rock City. Thank you Rock City and also a very great achievement as a businessman was succeed in the own chosen field as a politician once time a minister of security national security minister minister of agric and also your kukudampa war party numa you know so betumi aka say ogina brane say onu so betumi na wabana obedi o man nim through being a flag bearer of the MPP. Yefri also we fourth one Educhum Honorable Dr. Educhum Obia also educationist wa born homeboarding I mean Obia ultimate to kwan fi jachi pramsoton abesian kwa bruchire teacher ni mapa we to me see school down I mean we see school our American system num utie na utimi say wa quadrille ne field ne chosen field as an educationist you know wa build ne legacy within ono so no utie na utimi say ne policies ni ne niswade hu no obeso dibedi o man so no ono so ogina brane edemu sonko kora na ye ba ye nyina ye bra engineer Kwabran Japan akai say emre bi no spokesperson ma president Kufo as a press secretary and also politically you know wa quadri mu fine akone ni mo fine and you know I feel say no so wa quadri mu na pesa me ma yehu ekukudam fo I mean MPP where ka say we have the men these are very great men on their own status I say omu deserve say omu best step forward to lead a party. Now we about Kukudam crowd demo no Dr. His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. I mean Mahmoud the one I mean somebody an economist, obia world acclaimed economist, obia obonidia. I mean across the globe were making a mark greatly. I mean, we have an educational background. Juma Waye, a professional as economist. Waye Juma rise to the World Bank, about to our friends in Ghana Commercial Bank. How do you call it? Bank of Ghana. awotumi arise abe deputy governor. I mean, for 16 good years, I've been in the political arena as a flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party presidential candidate Nana Akufo-Addo. Now I stand to be a vice president for 8 good years. I mean, who to me who say this is somebody, I mean, who can now? You don't need to say much. I've torn for over 16 years across the country. I mean, this comparison, Now, who to me said there are could be a dancer. For instance, Ebiana will be going interview, or will be added on advantage. Not just Ebia who call interview will be call interview. First of all, one of the qualifications is as a PROF, as a OD degree, as always, you have all the qualification all together. But there's one thing a settle out from the others, and only if an added on advantage. Ebia Becca say, but added on advantage in any say, we have OT French. And we one thing about separate you from the others. Into which I say kukuda minina or munina say effata. So mube di party in him. But there was one person or one added on advantage the others doesn't have. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. I mean, Obi our vice president, he has gotten close to power. I mean, as a vice president, previous decisions be buying take it before uncle he is privy to it. Such a person or bad na unya kwenya na oba be anymore. I'm sure say you demonstrate all wrongs. I mean perceived wrongs. Now are correcting things that sana you're John Mahama and now your presidency. I believe that 2016. I mean Olusu no ko you sat down to who say nyoma bi o wa anko or ye ni say no this way and can be possible. And that wabano he looks like a renewed person though. But no so man of that advantage will be our tina kunyana so that on your opportunity now obe who dia a to senior ana anko ya obetimi adani nya sakreni. So I believe say nyame adom ko and rise and peace. But me put a peace park and I only say it's very to me is so much not relevant because
cosmetic.
Yes, because I feel say you see once there's competition there will always be cooperation. Once competition ends and there's a fair winner, there will be cooperation. We a party back. I mean, we're rising to the point of wanting to become a flag bearer of the party. Many just say you call contest now uluzwa. You have any, but once everything is fair, you don't have any qualms to disagree with the results. So for me, I think for me, you be telling me, I said I can just cosmetics. Once there's a winner, all the losers have to rally around the winner, come together, build and form a stronger, formidable party going forward in 2020.
Okay,
I mean, I believe these are people of great repute. I mean, you sure say Obia stepping back definitely. Despite there have been challenges. I mean, some of these things, human institution there, BBI 100% perfect, but I believe that.
And now almost signing a pact, candidates ni body language ni omudimina no say na hu no.
Well, I think just people who are trying to, read meaning into what is not. I don't see the body language is such that they are at a very high.
Dr. Mahmoud Baba, Obianim say opesire pa, but I don't know why you were so serious.
Well, I feel I had snippet of information say I mean gone under the. Because one of the candidates accused him to be a liar, something he hasn't said was attributed to him. So I think the party will have to look at all these things and address this. Definitely, Nipa, but Obianim say that okay, every day be a winner, but Nipa, when some wrong things have been attributed to him, I believe it behoves they are all the wrong accusation will have to then own an apology. So I feel the party hierarchy in Pennyphone on their own wisdom will try to go into caucus to resolve this matter. But for me, I think that Okase is still on the ground, canvassing boots and happily working together. What I believe in is this party has gone through the trying times and Fena. He stands tall among these 5. And Anyame Adoma on the 31st, you know, I believe that you come out successful. I wish all of them good luck. But with Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, I wish him a success. And I believe that Anyame Pa will see Dr. Mahmoud leading the party come 2020. Now, what's Uncle Jab Benyano? I'm a MPP party now.
Okay, Mami, now I'll say, Gabi.
Prof.
Yet you.
Medasi. Mami, share me na share. Mizumba manchiano. Na yedi MP for Hong Kong. Na miya edu jitama lawyer. Iwi michiano. Na minua bako. Honorable Governors Kwame Agoja, Minister for Roads and Highways. We ene okodi dwuma bi woni constituency. Wakosi wo traditional council wakosi dan fe e de amomo. It was wonderful. Me de sebe me free ahimfie kakra nti. Se wo ya ade ma nanamo a ya na mani sopa nti. Honorable Abuja we me bo abaso kesi pa se sa dwuma na okoye ma nananom ewo adaklu no. Dodo na nsua no nye bi ma nananom. Bi se politics ebetu nananomo ebetu nkonwa nti awia mechia no na mini awoka say na makai emrebi na Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia kujina simpie so also when NDC was in power, did you people even know who are the economic management team? No, I started born the SARFO mafo no abo no ne de no abo hwan satabna keno foriata no abo wakra obubo obudisa edruba bia abido no Bawumia say he was not the chairman of the economic management team. Etoda bia ya na African politics no ye reduce na ya na ya nhwe ya politics na bedu tembi no ye kasa omo nyie ni bi edru ba bi no om so na kenofrata na no ye bibia mi wa gina simpie so to anu mutuo. Say you were the leader of the chairman of the economy man. You were in charge of the economy. It have been a very intimate economy ni ho asa na done digital. Be said ye tie bia no me de ya na MP before the to the bia me ka se me kan party no ho a nka me kasa ka me bre me ho asa ka me fere kakra. We say ba bi o man kodu ya no na edin. O kan ya na bi mu ntiase enua no mu ntiase be na edin pa. Na wo hwe afi ba ko ndisi aban be transu na adwuma papa etimi aya wa kura no ha we osu bi mpa me ami ni osu bi mpa former communication manager of Ghana Gas ye ntua yaka pensioners sika ye kopo busia ye ntua kwan ya ye nya bi enema ye nyina na opisa nsade ena me ko kan Franklin Kujo post bi now here the way na wo si attack former president Akufo-Addo, but this was the people civil society organization that brought MPP to power.
Has always been NDC.
Look, unfortunately, Adeba Kwaya na muntu tu muniema yin because obi criticizing pe we NDC ni. Obi criticizing mo pe miko tie na mi tie Professor Vimpon Boatin one Poladum Ochre. O say look, tema no obe establish cardio center na NDC form bono. Nana Kweku Sapon. At that time, he was the health minister. Nana Kweku Sapon, mu nyina nim se no ye MPP ni. But omo the politics to nchen na all the professionals nyina nim se look, me Professor Fimfo Boatin, me MPP ni. But omo boa no amane establish cardio center. Sani ebu man. Na me nua MPP for the massa. Look, tell omo ba power. Na NDC by Professor Mo nyam coupon fan crazy President Mama ba first time you lose super 2016 me kai pa my joint ministries da me kai MPP for ye be two omo in the public sector and the civil service ye ja omo ye adwuma MPP for ba mu ye omadi omo nim so me MPP for pa o but on fi so me NDC for ye adwuma nti omo ji omo nyina di na nsen ye kote se ye kan say eminent tima omo din bi omo de from yes so what you say page Shenipa look Ismail Johnson, he was part of President Kufuor's government. We know him but o nim ti o de beboa Kwame Pianim. And look at Kwame Pianim over the years. And look at those on that, look at the membership. Yes, happened to and I said, what do you want to count? But see, Tembia make us say, Amaya, you know, almost 30 years, Malaysia, Singapore, no. Look, I never quite boy, say, they had the continuation of a government. And you were by fear, what you know, we by no call into a beer. Now they limited the issue about partisanship.
Now more national friends development agenda now.
Sure.
Malaysia.
Yes. So what you say? Koko kura no be fa bi free ekroma no ene hwedom de aye. Nti na say obia timi di adwene boa ene omatimi atum ponsa. Sa na echichire oman. Nti me de tembia me ka se omo akansi omo koyi de. Ekwan bi so no na nsen na me nua ma ne me ma me no kumasi dwomfo zo ene ye ndisi fo ene abe planti Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia se o mese omo party. How jo ha won ti ase. Of course Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia we ni papa ono kra no UP ni later the late president Rolling Stam or then be council of state na busuafo nyina do na ndisi fo ne ma me no ye conscience woman organizer onua ena President Mahama edi ne kwaye Ghana ambassador to Burkina Faso ukai Sarfo expedition no okay. Yes Sarfo expedition no tema Muhammadu Bawumia nua edi ne kwaye Ghana ambassador to Burkina Faso there was one of the diplomat of free Ghana ho no nko crash here and the sir enipa no one people ni na ho no ho dada yamfa na ama no e no leak that information no so these are people are bet of course one of the be open no de no e de be kwa akodom enti e kwan ben so na mo party for e be ka say ye ndc for and ye be planting we ndc mu ye ndc for ne ye planting na na se de na be she MPP mu se de be obegu mu party but rotie Professor Frembo amne nipa bia mu fi look Muhammadu Bawumia enka ni vice president na now the ne baye
odiwie na koso
na keso oko sometimes I tend to agree with them but me MPP ni so I don't care about that but I can tell you na saying oro bi dey to platform so a lawyer ni say can say akompreko Kennedy akompreko Japan we ni obehind this kakra but me dey me bisa say so be ni aye. But I can tell you, say, NDC, if you year 2024, no, na ye bi mu. Look,
but the Gen Zs, the streets.
Yeah, I can tell you. Look, I've had a lot of experience in politics. Near 2024 election, now me feel say, look, Kennedy, Japan could have given us more. Look, the competition on the bad banner, it could have been more than Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia. And Muhammadu Bawumia is an appendage of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I'm telling you, never the Nana do be on my way. Musoro say marketing. What is marketing? Marketing without integrity? What? Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia. To me the and so be na info Musa Dankwa Adeba. I'm so happy. Muhammadu Bawumia 48%. Akompreko 25%. We wish them well. Bawumia should win. Let's see. Obia me say ya no fi say Mama, this is his last time because Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia was vice president, was contested 2024. So if he comes in 2028, no, he has been.
Yeah, almost catch them say, John Mama, continue say to 2028. They would have no option than to vote for the NDC.
I'm telling you, and I know a reality because one on the on hoto, Prof, one empire hoto. Obiapa hoto. Ya ba sabi ya hwan ha kakra. Ene wo kura 100 cedis a wo de ma wo yire kodwo mo betimi ato chicken aba obetimi ato fish aba obetimi anya ato so de kakra fesu kura 100 cedis won hwe de be kwa akoto chicken kwa na aba fi obia pa hoto kakra obia pa hoto se oti ase na sometimes Muhammadu Bawumia kran ko ma ba mu da nke bia nka no ho son se oti ase ena wo hwe arrangement o mo ye ya wo kan so o mo na di o mo party because political party bia se be sha ase free ase na de kosoro mo de mo se e ko sha ase free so de aba ase awie kra ma tisi ase atin se wono na ye wo mo election committee chairman no honorable Joe Wise ma tisi wo kan bibi wo afidie ba ko so se omo person mo hye akwan fufuro bi kra to be able to lead the executive omo yi election into nchen I'm sure it's going to be on the net.
The executives.
Yes. Omo pe kwan fufuro bi enfa enyi wo me executive rather than going through an election Inti, I don't know.
Okay, so we have to go and do a research on it.
So
yeah.
Inti, me feel say, I'm not that bothered about their election. The only thing is,
I'll come back to you.
I apologize.
Debut, a fake.
Oh, a fake.
A fake.
Oh,
okay. And real.
Oh, okay. Then it's very unfortunate. But me feel say, so what say no crepa say. Yes, we na kwa kansa asem no the Ashanti regional chairman.
Yeah, na kasa wa ha manage tum say ono
no kasa. Me feel say as a presidential, as a will be a aspiring to become presidential candidate, you have a team. Yeah, information be what ever will competitor ho a e so verify. Because na technology aba. Ukasa from mama be kwa kodaba bia. Nti nema bi o ha ya na me kan apology no answer we say fake. Na me nyin to me say with all the team around him. Na want to me anhwehwem anhu say da bia sen we na kan na the question obi a na ye boa payo.
Almost the team members and some of them can say. Chairman won't to me or cancer assemble. A wine program I seen or cancer assemble.
Okay.
And one the beneficiary of a year and someone a chairman won't to me come. Beneficiary no a year. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. That was why the attack went on him.
Okay. It can be justified, but you see, sometimes no say, "Upesa we a leader." Adeba kwa me who a leadership no say one you must be disciplined. Into uncrofo a woni omunam nyina no ni obia bie na no aka nsem bia keke. Say what you say. Ni obia bie na bibia na oka. Professor Duboahin, we one of the architects of this fourth republic. We they contributed a lot. Na sabi wanya ne ba bi ko a wontimi me kan asema sabi enya no kra nto ne so. And the wa we panyini wo ho no. Yeah, you see after wontimi de obi anim se de osikasa. Ne kasa de sabi me wana me free minim ne kasa free titi. Ubiana na no kasa sometimes obi say, oh wow, this is Ashanti regional chairman of an elitist party like the MPP. But and then also ne de no. But who know we di wachi no. So wo pomu ni na nkasa obetimi anya mpanyimfo bi a da mra na so ne kasa. Se da bi ye tumi ni ye kope. Ne tumi na ye kope no kan hu se ye nko aye ntimi kope tumi. Ye ne o ma ye kan hu nyina na ye wini ye be kan bom. Nti wo ko kan asem bi na wanhwe wanka ne ya. Wanhwe a ebia ba obi so won chena won tie ase. Be se de misika aye no. Me de eyi sobe na aba no. Eye me fe na eye me de so. Say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia by 31st January 2026 na wabaye the flag bearer of the MPP party. And this we are very comfortable with him. I can tell you say look obia onim politics. In fact oni NDC ni bia kasa onim politics man. We are very comfortable. Say Mahmoud Bawumia should be the candidate for the MPP party in the 2028.
And you were happy with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
I'm telling you on authority. Look, I am telling you. So look, we as NDC members, we are up quote me everywhere. We are very much comfortable. Said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should be the MPP presidential candidate for the upcoming, I said the 2028 general election.
I mean that was saying I mean call a year minia.
Prof.
Bro,
Mami can't know. Mami in your means of your Gabi Kaya Lavestre. Let me tell you one thing. John Mahama lost the highest election in this country 2016.
No, it's not true.
Why is not true? What's the difference?
What was the vote? 2016. What
almost
was
a million votes.
No, so between 2024 election.
No, I'm saying before 2024.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm saying he lost. Sure. He lost the biggest margin.
Sure.
Nobody thought John Mahama will ever come back. He was a sitting president too. He wasn't an aspiring. He was a sitting president. He lost big time. So the history tells you that when you say a market war, Ghana, we know they are our voting trend. And you know, they are Gabi cancer, they are waiting for it. I know they are all speaking this is out of a certain malice, but we know very well that now how can be I mean to influence or say he now stopped talking about the economy, he's talking about digital. But what is digital?
So
yes, but it is sometimes in one said learned people speak like this. When you talk about digital, we have the digital economy. Look, the actual economy ankasa.
Say digital no we are called about economy. I say the digital economy.
Yes, of course.
Oh, really?
The digital, where is the economy? Now, as we talk, wait me we will be a business for UK. That's the digital economy. So he tried to make sure that I can say Momo, wait me to seek up from bank to your Momo. That's the digital economy. So and those times a national health insurance, who to me solar humachi, and then what told them now what renew electricity. You have to go to the office to buy, and then what to fear now. That is the digital economy we are talking about. But let's thank Dr. Mamu Baumia. Now, when I hear people talking about, I say, "Oja economy," can't digital. I feel they don't have understanding of what digital economy is about. And so please, let's get that straight. Mamu Baumia will talk about the economy today. We'll talk about it tomorrow. In fact, after 31st, he will start launching and be talking about the government, policies and agenda. Of course, and he hasn't abandoned that. But you see, Prof, I can't say, and who can say those who share MPP, because say they are John Mama, a boy man, say, could say idea, we have no options. John Mama, how old is this government? We are jumping the gun too early. And Amaka say, look, let us all understand that they have not introduced any policy. It's about the system. Now, when you talk about the dollar, they have shot in 10 billion into the. So the dollar is being micromanaged. Very soon they'll start paying contractors. They'll start paying big amount. We see how the real economy will start flambing. Now again, linking it to the statistics that Ghana, how do you call it, GSS for the Abano. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about say for 48%? Is it 48%? Are saying that the economy.
58%.
No, it's not 58%.
Which one? 58.
The
IEA.
IEA, no. How about percentage?
58.
And now 48 are saying 40 what? Is it 42? 38 are saying that no, America say it is statistically challenged. That data is statistically challenged. Prof, president
so you are challenging the IE.
I don't want to use the word challenge, but I say it's statistically challenged. We need to dive into it more and analyze it deeply. How many people has the employer? Almost close to about if I'm not lying, the stats is about 30,000 workers out of the employment sector. The previous government employed them. Me no can say electricity bills on high. Me no can say water bill has been increased. Me no can say all government services has been increased. I know quite porter. Baby anka ya pack. Baby anka ya pack. I 100 cities, and there 200 cities. All government services have been increased. These statistics, in as much as I don't want to say I feel it is very challenging. We need to dive into it. And I tell you that statement that Gabi said they need Mahmoud Bamia to come and they win here. Everybody thought John Mahama was finished. Now Mami control Ghana here CCR.
But it depends on depending on the performance of this government.
Exactly. Don't you say on the performance of this government is not something we are holding on to, because it's about the policies you change. John Mahama will go.
John
Mahama will leave the scene. Who else is the most experienced politician next after John Mahama? You need a hands-on person, somebody whose hand is on the pulse. And Mahmoud Bamia has had the experience. That is why me. That's why. Mainland, John Mahama, when he lost in 2016, or say they went into the election with a lame horse. That means party now or the co-election, the party was weak and fractured.
Is the MPP weak and fractured today?
That is what I'm coming to. And MIA, they lost. They know very well. When we're going into election in 2024, a lot of problems and challenges and division was in the party. Beyond the fact, say, we have done very well. Because, you see, you talk about 2019 to 2024. This is where the COVID came in.
There be sometimes.
I've taken you. Your time, no. Me catch you. I kept on prompting you. Debbie, may you free. So Gabby, bro, 2 minutes.
But some okay necessary. So what you say? There's so who say President Mahama Tama Ulusu 2016 no. Na sebi ni legacy ojato ho no nje bina Dr. Baube in fact Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia onu kra ni party for ya no mo sere no. I'm telling you his own party members so what you say ya no mo sere be say eniema lectures anu wo ye no tema na onye vice president in fact Nanado brought Dr. Muhammadu because of his background as an economist but oba no eyomo tam so and this economy became one of the worst, a junk economy. Ye bibie ye city depreciate here to the sense ye kakra ni ntimi ntua enipa wui e kom di nipa ye ni nyina bo mo bamia tam enti se ofi se sebe President Mahama Olusu 2016 na okoye no buy ya you are doing a wrong comparison.
Mami na was Gabi.
And also the one you.
Please don't say that. You can't be. You don't know. You can't be on. No. Please. No, there be No. You have to express it. But these are things. No. I'm not taking it because your microphone is off. Yes. No. There are things that are not meant for public consumption. It's a discussion between you and then me. So please, me patch. Nkrumah, so thank you so much, Ebusha, for I had a mind.